After almost a month of the House GOP finally gathering enough balls to come together for not just their political gain, but also for the country for once. When they finally decided to do this, they voted for Congressman Mike Johnson. But who exactly is he? Let's find out.
Facts over tracks, this and that, spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
Now, this came as new news to me because of the fact that I did not even expect the House of Representatives to ever come together and agree for once, especially when they removed Kevin McCarthy, which I still don't mind, but that's another story. According to Reuters, Mike Johnson, 51, was born in Sturridgeport, Louisiana's third largest city, the oldest of 4 siblings, and the son of a firefighter who was badly burned and disabled in the line of duty. Prior to Congress, Johnson was a lawyer who mainly worked in religious freedom issues, successfully defending Louisiana's same-sex marriage ban in 2004. Quote, "I am a Christian, a husband, a father, a lifelong conservative, constitutional law attorney, and a small business owner, in that order," he told the Louisiana Baptist Message newspaper in 2016, which are some great values to me. He was elected to the Louisiana State House in 2015 and ran for Congress successfully in 2016. He now represents Louisiana's 4th largest congressional district, which occupies the northwestern corner of the state and includes his hometown of Steveport. He also is a conservative who is best known for his defense of former President Donald Trump's attempts to overturn the results of the 2020 election. He opposes same-sex marriage and introduced a bill in 2022 that would have banned schools from promoting or discussing gender identity. He also opposes Ukraine aid and has a strong relationship with Trump. So, to me, I already love this guy, and I cannot wait to see more from him, and I cannot wait to see the bills that he gets passed because of the leadership that he is now holding. And I can't wait to see 2024 now with him at the forefront of this GOP. With that being said, we have a lot of things to cover because it was just a mass shooting, so let's cover that right now. So, like I said, there was just a mass shooting in Maine. So 50 people were injured, 16 people are now dead, and this might have updated by the time that this gets released because I am actually recording this 10:30 p.m. on Wednesday, okay? So this is the day prior to me releasing this episode. Now, as of this time, that's what I'm saying, the article keeps getting updated. Like, when I first added this article, there was only 3 paragraphs to this. Now it's a long article because things are being released. And by the morning, things will be released, so this might not be as up-to-date as I can get it, but it's as up-to-date as I can get it right this second. So, at least 16 people were reportedly murdered on Wednesday night, and dozens more were wounded when a man went on a shooting spree in Maine. The shooting appears to have happened in multiple locations of Lewistown, including a Walmart distribution center, Spare Time Reaction, and Scourge-Murray's Bar and Grill restaurant. Fox News reported that pre-reports indicated that 22 people were killed. Senator Susan Collins, Republican from Maine, posted a photo of the alleged suspect and encouraged anyone who sees the individual to immediately contact law enforcement. So this person right here, here's a photo of the shooting suspect. If you have any information to spare, please call the Lewistown Police Department at this number. Please stay off the streets and allow law enforcement to pursue this suspect. So this is just disgusting and despicable right here. This was actually posted an hour ago right now, so 9:55 p.m. on October 25th. Fox News also claimed that the possible suspect has been taken into custody. There is no confirmation that any suspects have been taken into custody, other than their reporting, of course. Per law enforcement source, prelim info is 22 dead in Lewiston, Maine. Shootings at 3 locations, Walmart distribution center bar plus 3rd location, FBI supporting immobilized, Maine State Police taking lead investigative role, possible suspect in custody. Maine State Police said in a post that there was an active shooter in the city and encouraged everyone to shelter in place. Please stay inside your home with the doors locked, the statement said. Law enforcement is currently investigating at 2 locations right now. Again, please stay off the streets and allow law enforcement to defuse the situation. If you see any suspicious activity or individuals, please call 911. Updates to follow. This is the city of Maine right here. Most businesses in the area are closed and are closing. Maine Governor Joint Mills said that she was, quote, aware of and have been briefed of the inactive shooter situation in Lewistown. I urge all people in the area to follow the direction of the state and local enforcement. She said, I will continue to monitor the situation and remain in close contact with public safety officials. The White House said that President Joe Biden was aware of the shooting and was following updates. This is a breaking news story. Refresh for any updates. So, I mean, this is just crazy situation right here. Again, we have a mental health crisis in America. And the faster that we know and that we learn from these mental health crises that we have to deal with, sadly, in America, the faster we can actually fix the situation at hand. And the situation that we have at hand is that we need help. We need mental help in America. And you know why? This is because of the fact that we spend so much time on social media. This is because of the fact that we spend so much time self-centered and self-loathing in our own disgust, self-loathing in our own disappointing lives, that we don't have anything else to look to other than doing malicious, evil acts to other people. And it's disturbing and it's disgusting. It needs to stop right now. Right now, it needs to stop. It needed to stop years ago. But, last week was the best time to do this. Today is the second best time to do this. So now we need to cut it out. We need to come together. We need to say no more. No more. You know how this is going to happen? By making sure that people have the most up-to-date resources available for their mental health, to make sure that everybody has a gun on their person to protect themselves. If those 16 people or more than 50 people have been hurt. So if we had one gun per 50 people, or one person had a gun, at least one person in the crowd had a gun, then we could have prevented this thing from actually killing more people. But of course, nobody had a gun within those 50 people, so they couldn't do anything. So if more people have guns, that fixes the problem at hand. You can protect yourself. You don't have to wait for 911 to come minutes later. No, you can be your own first responder with your own firearm. That's the most important part of a firearm, protecting you and your fellow people. That's the most important thing here. But of course, that didn't happen. Speaking of stupid actions and stupid people, we have Bowman, which actually a couple of weeks ago pulled the fire alarm, thinking that fire alarm was the thing that actually opens a door, which is just stupid to me, because fire alarms, the last time I checked, are not something that opens a door. Just like how when you flush a toilet, it does not dispense soap in your hands so you can wash your hands. Just like how when you turn on the shower head, the closet door doesn't open. Like, it does not. This does not make any sense at all. When you open the door to the bathroom, the light doesn't automatically turn on in the bathroom unless you have a sensor or what have you. But the logic of this is hurting my brain. It does not make any sense whatsoever. It doesn't. It does not make any sense whatsoever for him to be pulling the fire alarm. I mean, it just doesn't. And this is exactly why he was charged over the fire alarm incident, because it does not make any sense to anybody. So moving in with the Daily Wire article, we have Rep. Jamal Bowman, Democrat from New York, has been charged for pulling a fire alarm in a House office building ahead of government spending vote last month, authorities said on Wednesday. D.C. Attorney General Brian Schwab levied one misdemeanor count of falsely pulling a fire alarm against Bowman for the incident on September 30th, according to court documents. Bowman has been ordered to report to the United States Capitol Office, USCP, headquarters on Thursday to be booked, fingerprinted, photographed, and processed. He is expected to appear in the D.C. Superior Court at 9:30 a.m. As reported by NBC News, the charge carries a maximum penalty of 6 months in jail, but the D.C. Attorney General's office said that Bowman is pleading guilty and has agreed to pay the maximum fine, which is $1,000. And Bowman will issue a formal apology to the Capitol Police. If Bowman sticks to the terms of the deal, which includes 3 months probation, the charge will be dropped, according to CNN. Of course, he gets off easily. The Capitol Police opened an investigation after a firm alarm there's a typo. After the fire alarm led to an evacuation to the Cannon office building. The inquiry resulted in a criminal referral to the D.C. prosecutor. Quote, we finished our investigation. Our agents gathered all the evidence, packaged it up, and sent the entire case with charges to prosecutors for their consideration, the Capitol Police told the Daily Wire. Bowman released a statement on Wednesday indicating that he wanted to move past the incident. But that does not make any sense. Bowman himself wants to move past the incident. Okay, so imagine for me, Okay, putting myself into the situation, as I love to do, because I'm called a narcissist all the time from some people in my DMs. For some reason, I'm called a narcissist. But let's put myself into the situation like some people love claiming that I do all the time. But anyway, putting myself into the situation, imagine if I, for a second, am having all of the light put towards me for saying something stupid online, or doing some stupid thing. Let's just say that I just smacked my mom, or said something preposterous, something stupid, something beyond me, okay? Obviously, that would never happen. But I'm saying that something beyond me, something so preposterous. And then as soon as people are yelling at me for doing the stupid action that's so preposterous, I say, well, taking your view off of me for a second, how about what you did last week? Like, what are you talking about? Now's not the time for this. Listen, you're getting justice for what you did. You cannot take the blame off of you. You cannot say, oh, well, I want to move past this incident, okay? The past is not, or whatever Kamala Harris says, the past has not been, let our future not be burdened by our past, or whatever the hell she says. Let me put the quote in here.
Unburdened by what has been.
But like Kamala Harris says, she's just stupid. Okay, this is his quote right here. I'm thankful for the quick resolution from the District of Columbia Attorney General's office on the issue, and grateful for the United States Capitol Police General's Counsel's office agreed. I did not obstruct nor intend to obstruct any House vote or proceedings. Wow. It's almost as if you could be lying there, because if you did intend to obstruct any House vote or proceeding, that means that you were causing an insurrection. Wait a second now. Wait. Hold your horses. You're saying that you did not cause an insurrection. Wait a second. The insurrection that you spent years and years for getting in the middle of a House vote. Wait a second. On January 6th, 2021, you said that a lot of Republicans created a situation that they wanted to intend to obstruct a vote proceeding of the United States president. Wait a second. So you're saying that you did not do that, and we can trust you? No. I think that you should get at least what the Horn Man guy got. At least 2 years in prison. I mean, I think that's bare minimum, but 2 years in prison, I think some more of your own medicine would do you quite the satisfying amount of justice that you need. Okay? That's what I think. This is what he thinks, though. This is his quote. I think we all know that Republicans will attempt to use this to distract from everyone from their mess. Bowman added, but I look forward to putting this behind me as I continue to work hard to deliver for New Yorkers. What are you delivering? What are you delivering? A fire alarm? Are you delivering an installation for a new fire alarm system in the White House? What are you delivering exactly? Because I do not know what you're delivering, but we do not want that. Send it back to sender, okay? Send that back to where it came from, because we do not want what you're delivering, okay? Okay, capiche, okay? Moving on to the next article, we actually have another Daily Wire article. We have IDF releases raw interrogation footage of multiple Hamas terrorists who killed Israelis. Now, before I get into this article here from the Daily Wire, this is the thing here. So I do realize that there was an incident with the IDF, and we will be touching base on that incident with the Greek Orthodox Church in Gaza. We will be touching base on that. But the reason why I wanted to take my time to investigate I read 10 different articles on this. I listened to 2 different hour-long podcasts on this situation because of the fact that I have been so pro-Israeli this whole entire time. I still full-heartedly believe that Israel has the right to defend itself. Israel has the right to defend itself. I full-heartedly agree with that. When we have the second coming of the Holocaust on Israelis' ground, killing thousands of innocent people, we need justice for those people. And justice from Israel. From Israel, okay? This is the very much the key differentiator, okay? From Israel means from Israel, not from other countries, okay? That's what it means. I want to be razor sharp and precise in my language, and I want to be crystal clear like a diamond in my direct wording on this, that Israel has a right to defend itself. No caveats. That's my take. No caveats. Now, the thing is that some mistakes happen in wartime, and that we will be touching base on in the next article. But in this article, we actually have a Daily Wire article. We have IDF releases raw interrogation footage of multiple Hamas terrorists who killed Israelis. So the Israeli Defense Force released new footage of alleged Palestinian Islamic terrorists that they interrogated in recent days following their unprecedented attack on their country earlier this month. The footage shows the faces, full names, the rank of several of the captured terrorists. All of the terrorists were in handcuffs. One was wearing a shirt that was covered in blood. The terrorists described the tasks that they were ordered to carry out, which included taking over military posts near the Gaza-Israel border, massacring citizens in kibbutz, and kidnapping the civilians they could control. Those who were able to kidnap civilians got financial rewards, including apartments and $10,000. The goal of our infiltration for them was to capture and kidnap as many as possible, one terrorist said. Multiple terrorists said that they were given orders to conquer and cleanse the kibbutz of Jews. Another terrorist described shooting unarmed civilians and setting homes on fire in one of the kibbutz. The savages described butchering entire families, killing men, women, children, and elderly in their pits. One terrorist said that they did so in a barbaric manner. The terrorists, when asked, said that they were all Muslims, but claimed that Islam does not instruct them to kill innocent people. They acknowledged that they were no different than ISIS and tried to avoid responsibility for their terrorism by claiming that they were tricked by the top leaders of Hamas. So there's a video right here. I do not wish to see the video because I do trust the Daily Wire reporting on this situation. But you can see in some of the pictures right here that there is some blood on their sleeves. Again, it's a very disappointing time. It's wartime. It's disgusting. It really is disgusting. And this is what made me so fired up. When we saw these videos, not this video, one photo, but we saw the videos that were released on the weekend of October 7th. It was a disgrace. It was a atrocity on the highest level against humanity. It was an atrocity against the highest level of Israelis. Okay, it was just disgusting and disturbing in so many levels that I cannot put into plain English because it was so disgusting and disgraceful that I had to live on the same exact earth as these disgusting human wastes. With that being said, Gaza cannot act surprised when they get a couple missiles fired at them for committing those very atrocities. That's at the forefront of this. You cannot do a massacre of Jewish people or any people of that matter and expect that there will be no repercussions for your actions and expect that there will be no justice served for the people that have fallen victim to your evil doings. You can't sit here and act surprised when justice comes to your face. So that's what I'm not understanding, which is coming straight out of Hamas. It does not make any sense. But with that being said, we do have a Washington Examiner article. Now, I tried to find the most center-leaning article on this matter because so many articles are coming out and it's all left-leaning. I do not want any left-leaning articles whatsoever on this case because I do not trust them. Slightly left, all the way left, fully left. I do not trust any of that. Center or slightly to the right, which because of the fact that slightly to the right means that you're still center. That's the only reason why I was looking into that. And center-leaning news is neutral. The Washington Examiner is actually one of the most neutral-facing organizations that you can have in your news feed. Just like the Daily Wire, that's slightly more right-leaning. Just like how the Daily Beast and others have their political bias, and they explicitly say that they're explicitly biased in their news coverage. So you can accept that. I accept that. I will listen to the Daily Wire every single day. I read the Daily Wire articles every single day. I subscribe to Daily Wire Plus because of the fact that I am a conservative. I like getting my news from Daily Wire, but sometimes I want centered news. I do not want a bias in the news. Sometimes I don't. And sometimes I go to different articles to read different things. I go to CNN to read different articles. If I want a different opinion on the matter and I want a well-rounded opinion on the subject, I go to different articles and I see what I can actually do and what I can actually take away from this information. That's why I went to the Washington Examiner and I read this whole entire article before I even opened my mouth about this situation. I saw a 360-degree video of this very church. So, with that being said, we will be showing footage, we will be showing videos of this happening. Now, starting from the beginning, this is the Washington Examiner. Israel war, former congressman's relatives among those killed in airstrike hitting historic Gaza church. Now, this 100% without a doubt happened. Now, I will be explaining, though, why people do not trust it. And I don't blame people for not trusting this, but the thing is that when we have video, when we have people dead, something happened, okay? 18 Palestinians were most likely Christians, including relatives of former congressmen, were killed after an Israeli airstrike hit the grounds of Gaza City's St. Porphyrius Greek Orthodox Church, one of the oldest on earth. The church was the oldest active church in Gaza, was falsely rumored to have been hit in the opening days of the war in Gaza. On Thursday, it was first revealed by church authorities that its compound had been hit in an Israeli airstrike. And that fact was confirmed later by footage and Israeli authorities themselves. Hundreds were sharing within the church complex when an Israeli airstrike deployed a building adjacent to the church. Former Michigan Rep. Justin Hamash, who is Palestinian Christian descent, revealed that some of his relatives were killed in the blast. With great sadness, I have now confirmed that several of my relatives, including Viola and Yura, pictured here, were killed at the St. Porphyrius Orthodox Church in Gaza, where they had been sheltering when part of the complex was destroyed as a result of the Israeli airstrike. Give rest, O Lord, to their souls, and may their memories be eternal. Imesh said in a post on X, formerly Twitter, the Palestinian Christian community has endured so much. Our family is hurting so badly, he added. May God watch over all Christians in Gaza and all Israelis and Palestinians who are suffering, whatever their religion or creed. And, that is well said, because that is taking into account everybody. That's not just taking into account Christians in Gaza or just Palestinians, it's including everybody. All the innocent people that have fallen victim to this evil doing of the war started and created by Gaza. He doesn't have to sit here and say explicitly, this is because of Gaza, and this is exactly because of this and this and that. No, he's saying, listen, my family members just died. I'm letting you know that I'm very much feeling the harsh reality of the war right now. It's a sad day when you have to go through that. And I feel for him. I really do feel for him, because any death is too much death. With that being said, right, any death is too much death. And we should learn to prevent as much innocent death as we can. And that's exactly why warnings are helpful. That's exactly why double checking is helpful. That's exactly why warning signals and warning videos is helpful, which Israel sent out. But I'm not sure exactly what happened on this situation that they decided to do this. But we can see here, if we continue to read the article and not just give up, this is actually a video from the IDF, which they released this own footage, and it describes an Israeli airstrike on the command and control center of Hamas terrorists in a building near the Orthodox Church of Porphyrius. Earlier, Hamas claimed that the Israeli hit the church and killed 17 people, which I don't trust anything that comes out of Hamas. So this is from the IDF themselves. We're going to be watching the video here. So you can see inside of this guy, I actually have this muted because of the fact that there's no sound anyway. So the church is so near where their target is that this was an accident of war. And you can see right here in the video, this was an accident of the war. The church didn't move, but they hit the target, and the church was very close to the target. With these things being a reality of war, we can't just sit here and say, oh, Israel, you were targeting the church. Accidents happen in wartime, and this is a great accident. And the thing is that the sad reality is that people are going to use this and say, Israel, you need to stop it. You need a ceasefire right this second. No, this does not mean that Israel needs to stop what it's doing. Israel needs to continue to wipe Hamas, very specific and very clear and precise in my language, needs to wipe out Hamas from the earth. Hamas and the leadership of Hamas needs to be wiped off the face of the earth, or else this will continue to happen in the later years of this. this conflict is not going to stop just because they cease fire, just because of the fact that they say, oh, okay, we're going to give up now. Hamas is not going to just pack their bags and go. They're not just going to say, oh, well, okay, well, we did terror for the last couple generations. I guess we'll just make our own economy now. That's not going to happen. So if I'm not kidding myself and you're not kidding yourself, how about we actually get something done? What we should get done is Hamas needs to step down. The leadership of Hamas needs to step down. A new government must go into control of the Gaza territory. I suppose that Egypt can take over. Palestine can take over. Palestine is an actual place. Palestine is a government of people that came together and controls the territories of the world. So the Palestinian regime can come in and control Hamas, which Hamas is just another arm of their terrorist organization anyway, so they might as well just take over Hamas. But the thing is, I believe that somebody in the third party should be taking over Hamas, so this doesn't happen. And there should be some like wiggle room in the fact that so many countries that hate Jewish people should not be so close in proximity to Israel, because that's just a war waiting to happen right now. And we saw the atrocities of having this such system on October 7th. We do not want this to ever happen again because of the atrocities that resulted in the October 7th massacre of Jewish people. It's just disgusting. This stuff like this should never happen again at all. You know who should take full responsibility for the people that died today, that died tomorrow, that died last Thursday in this Greek Orthodox Church? Hamas. Hamas deserves full responsibility for every single death that resulted in this war because of the fact that they started the war. Israel is giving justice for the people that were killed in Israel. And yes, mistakes like this happen. And this is a great, a horrific mistake. And it's disgusting when stuff like this happens and innocent people have to perish because of the evil doings of Hamas. It's disgusting. It is. I agree as much as the next guy. But the thing is, then what are we going to do from there? Are we going to just sit there and say, oh no, well, because of this evil atrocities that happened because of Israel must stop what they're doing? No. And the sad reality is that the more that people think like that, the more that people say, listen, because of the fact that this happened today, we need Israel to stop the war. We need a ceasefire immediately on the behalf of Israel. This is exactly what Hamas wants to do. Hamas wants to sit here and say, oh, well, we're going to release all the people that we took hostage. What we're going to do is we're going to sit here and blame all of these things on you. And, a wake-up call is that all of the health ministry of Hamas is controlled by Hamas. And Hamas likes to lie. Because you know why? Because they're a terrorist organization that has full know-how. They know how to pressure they know how to pressure the West into getting what they want. They are full of indoctrination of their people. So there's no doubt in my mind that they can put out some indoctrination to this scale. So maybe it wasn't 7 people that died. If it was, that's still horrific. If it was more, if it was less. Either way, when innocent people have to perish because of the evil doings of Hamas, it's a terrible day. And because of the fact that we have people like President Joe Biden over here saying that we need a ceasefire, which he just recently said, we need to sit here and think about what is actually happening. Why is the tide changing on Israel? Is it because of the people that are taking this stuff way too far and saying that little things like an octopus that nobody even knew about since the 1930s are being called anti-Semitic? Or are they taking this word anti-Semitic and calling everybody under the sun anti-Semitic? Are we going to listen to those people and let them take over the campaign and the momentum that we gathered from the atrocities that happened on October 7th? No, we're not going to let these people hijack the momentum that was created because of the terror that was caused on October 7th. We're not going to let these people hijack because not everybody is anti-Semitic. For asking questions, Charlie Kirk for asking questions on exactly why Israel took a few hours to respond to this event, he's not anti-Semitic. Just because Candace Owens is asking questions and pointing out the fact that Israel bombed or missiled a church by accident She is not anti-Semitic. Just because people post things that are not 100% pro-Israel does not mean that they're anti-Semitic. But you know what it does mean? It means that we're asking questions, and asking questions is good. But the thing is that there's a huge caveat to that because of the fact that if you are sitting here saying, well, Israel is justified only because of this, and then when they do this and that and this and that, listen, we can ask questions. There's a way to ask questions. But there's another way entirely to say, well, I think that this was set up by Benjamin Netanyahu because of the fact that he needed more support and blah, 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 and he wanted all these people to die. That's on the line, okay? That's too far, okay? There's ways to question stuff, and then there's ways to just create a conspiracy theory that is damaging to people's career, damaging to people's name and their well-known status. That's when we take it too far, and that's when we get into the fact of, manipulating the audience. That's when we get into, the territory of just making stories up just for the heck of it. That's when we should just say, enough is enough. We're not going to be trusting these media sources just because of the fact that a couple media sources posted this article. No, we're going to be looking into multiple news articles in every situation that happens from a war zone. Again, may I remind you that in the beginning of this war, they said that this church blew up. This church blew up and was missiled by Israel. So how come they said it at the beginning of the war, and then now when it actually happens, it's questions like this on the part of a terrorist regime. So I'm not saying that the terrorist regime actually did this. I'm saying that why did people blame Israel for blowing up the church or missiling the church before it even happened? And then now, of course, when it actually does come true, people are asking questions about it, and people are saying, did this actually happen? I don't blame people for actually questioning it, but when there's a video of it actually being blown up, that's when we should say, okay, this actually happened. But with that being said, that's going to do it for this episode. That's going to do it for until tomorrow, because I did want to post an episode today because of the House Speaker situation. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for listening. And I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, please like and subscribe down below, because I do post new episodes of the show every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Thank you all for watching, and I hope they have a great rest of your day.